All right, listen. Get this thing off. Get this thing off. Listen. Have some shame, have some class, have some shame, have some class about yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I got the merch, baby. I got the merch. Don't worry about that. You ain't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? It's even a shame because my hair is even looking so sexy. But listen, we're here to talk to you guys about Love Island. Love freaking Island. Okay? All right? Love freaking Island. You get me? So listen, this episode was crazy. Look, I just want to say this. I've been saying about Jess being a snake. I told you guys. Didn't I tell you she's a snake? Didn't I tell you that? Did I not tell you that Jess is a snake? Listen, have I failed you yet? No. Yankasa. Listen, have I failed you yet? When it comes to my deductions on who is mad on this show or not, have I failed you yet? Have I been wrong yet when I've told you about somebody's behavior and what they will do and where they will end up? Have I failed you yet? Tell me somebody have failed you. I've spoken to you about Jess. I've spoken to you about Tyreek. I've said about Ella. I've said about Andre and Catherine. I've told about Zach. Have I failed you yet? Have I failed you yet? Hey, I won't let you down. I won't steer you wrong. When it comes to these things, I know what I'm talking about. But now, I told you about Jess the other day. I told you guys, watch out for this snake. Huh? This snake. Ah, darling. But you know what? I feel vindicated. I feel vindicated. I feel free. Let me lift my chair up a little bit. It's a bit low. You know? I feel vindicated. I feel free. I feel better. I feel nice. I feel like, you know what? We are seeing each other now. You understand what I'm saying to you? We are seeing each other now. You get it, right? So yeah, listen, it's a wild thing. I can't lie to you. Like watching this episode, Jess was moving mad. Medi, what the frick? Yo, what the frick was going on with Medi? Blood, Medi's on a mad one. Don't know what my man's on. Don't know what my man's thinking. Don't know what my man's trying to do. But that was a mad one. Medi, what the frick are you doing? What the frick are you doing? How are you going to turn the argument against Whitney when you don't even know what happened? If you don't know what happened, shut up. No, real spit. If he doesn't know what actually happened, why would he talk and say, why would he make a deduction? It was a deduction that Whitney's to blame. Now, listen, I think Whitney can be her extroverted self and be a little bit, a little bit energetic and that, right? But if I'm in a couple with you and I don't have no preconceived ideas, I'm not going to run to the first thing and say, what did you do? Because that's what you were doing, right? And he was doing exactly, all right? He was doing exactly what we've seen with white folk in the workplace. Okay, all right. This exact same thing we see from white folks in the workplace. They do the exact same thing. They literally don't. If there's an argument between you and a white person, they are going to believe that, not all white people, by the way, but they'll believe the white person because they feel like, because remember, the preconceived idea about black people is that we are aggressive, we are uncouth, uneducated, we're animals, we are unsophisticated, okay? We don't have no class, we don't have no shame, we don't have no eloquence, we don't have an idea of how to operate. Like, so they have these preconceived loaded ideas already, not just white people, but you'll find it also on other continents too. Right? You'll find on other continents too. Arabs will do the exact same thing. They see us in this light. And the reason is because of what, unfortunately, what white supremacy has done and how it has spoken for us of what as black people are. Right? So the situation between Whitney and Jess literally should have been, so what actually happened? Okay, you were talking to Jess. Why? So why did she end up crying? Okay, he said that. Okay, instead of sitting down and listening, he said, I don't want to be no mess. How do you know there was a mess? Do you know if I was right or I was wrong? If you don't know if I'm right or wrong, shut your mouth. Keep quiet. In the public, you back me. When I get back to the bedroom, we can have a real conversation about it. That's how you protect your partner. That was some bullcrap for Medi. No word of a lie. That was some bullcrap from Medi. Can't even play. Was absolute bullcrap for Medi. And, I was disappointed to see that. Very much disappointed. And I was like, is this what we're dealing with, Medi? Like, is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? That you can't even apologize until you get to until Jess comes to speak to you. So up until that point in time, you didn't believe Whitney. Up until that point in time, you didn't believe Whitney. Now, look, don't get twisted. Listen. Whitney's a funny girl. She's vibrant. She likes to make little comments. She breaks the fourth wall. Never have I seen Whitney be aggressive. Never have I seen Whitney be aggressive. In fact, even with Molly earlier on, when Molly gave her a little bit of sass, Whitney was like, well, okay, cool. Even with Mehdi himself, Mehdi tried it and she was like, well, okay, cool. She didn't even give him the energy back. In fact, she should have. But I think she knew what she'll be labeled as. And I'm sick and I'm tired of it. It's disgusting, right? And it's frustrating. And it pisses me off because it's like we struggle in the same place that everyone else has to struggle. We have to work as hard as everybody else, but we are labeled. So as soon as we try to speak up for ourselves, defend ourselves, and try to correct things, we get labeled as, well, they're hard to work with. They're hard to work with. You get what I'm saying to you? Yeah. So like on a real thing, like honestly, for me, it really pissed me off. And then to see the whole situation actually began with Jess in the first place. So to see the Jess situation, the fact is, Jess, you know you've been a two-faced cow. Okay, right? You've been a two-faced cow about it. All right. Moo. You've been a two-faced cow about it, right? Not that she is a cow. She's been a two-faced cow. Not that she is a cow, but she behaving like a cow. And she has been snaking, and I told you this, that she goes between camps. And so all that energy you were giving Molly about, about her going to spend time with Zach while that new girl was over there, or whatever her name is, I don't know, was it Charlotte? All the little backhand comments you were making, all the comments you were making with Catherine and Whitney. And I told you guys, watch her, because she makes comments to those girls, strong comments about Molly. But when she's sitting with Molly, she's sitting too calmly. I said, that kind of person is a two-faced liar, and they are a double agent. And you don't trust double agents. People that can sit with you, be cussing another person out, and then go and sit with them calmly and be all chummy with them. Nah, I don't trust you. I don't trust you. And I was right not to trust you, because as soon as they held you to the fire, and it wasn't even in a rude way, it was in a respectful manner by saying, hey, babe, look, why did you decide to pie Tyreek in the face when you came and sat down and you were then you were muttering about Molly's had it hard already. Molly's had it hard already. What do you mean Molly's had it hard already? Right? What do you mean Molly's had it hard already? Right? When you're the one that had it hard. You're the one that's been doing it. You're the one who's been talking. You're the one that said, "Oh, let me go and say." When you were talking, and I said this on Black Twitter, and I was telling them as well to stop defending her because of Catherine. I said this already. Don't defend her because of Catherine's friends with Jess. It is a falsity, because when someone's got character deficiency issues, it don't matter if they're black or white. You know what I mean? Add some shim, add some class. Look, let me tell you something about Jess, right? And I see behind the scenes. Yeah. So obviously with Jess and everything, right? What was interesting is the fact that when Jess decided, no, when they're talking to Jess, and breaking it down to her, right? All it needed to be was just to acknowledge her faults, that she hasn't been as strong as she needed to be strong, and that she has been doing a little bit of double speaking, and that's it. It would have been done. I don't like that stuff. I don't play them games. So that's my little 10-minute rant done. Do you get me? And I already told you about Ella and Tyreek. Don't get gassed because Ella's crying managed to win Tyreek over. We're not celebrating that win. I know a win's a win, but this is not a win. This ain't a win. This is not a win. When you've been crying windmills, okay? When you've been salt watering all over the place, okay? When you've been tearing up and the water is running like Nile, okay, and then the man decides to give himself to you, don't get gassed thinking you won. Right? Don't get gassed just because you kid Zach and he got excited. No, he's waiting for his next victim to come in. Trust me, dog. But anyway, let me bring someone else up as well. So let me bring Hey.
Hi.
Hey, what's good? You right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good,
Mm-mm.
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good.
Okay, makeup looking flawless and that.
Thanks, thanks, thanks.
Nice. Sounds like you looks like you about to go out. You better not go anywhere, are you?
Nah, man.
That's what it's
No.
up. That's right. You stay your ass indoors. Um. So talk to me. You watched Love Island this episode. What's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts?
Listen, this episode, can't lie, it wasn't as good as the other episode, but we'll let it go. We'll let it go. It was still good. But my thing was, let me even see what I wrote down because I even wrote notes. Now, because this episode was a bit dodgy. The Medi situation wasn't making sense because, in my opinion, Medi was saying it
Mm,
because she was a black woman. Like he
mm,
assumed that, she was acting that way, or she made Jess cry because of how she spoke to her, but really Jess was just already like, oh, everything's getting onto me. And I think that Jess as well, the way that she was saying like, oh, it's none of their business, but was she not shouting across the yard the other day
mm.
when it was Molly? So I'm a bit confused when she's saying, oh, it's not your business, it's not your business, because it was somebody's business the other day, but now all of a sudden you can't you can't take what you dish out. Doesn't make sense.
Mm. Listen, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think as well. Like with Jess, I think she initiated a lot of the nonsense that was going on with the Molly situation. She
Yeah.
always had something to say. She always had a slick word to give. She always had something smart come out of her mouth about Molly, and yeah, um, it was it was interesting because I think why is it when I confront you that you're acting as if you didn't do anything? Like you're acting as if like you don't
Hmm.
know what I'm talking about. For me, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like we're acting as if
Yeah.
you're acting as if you don't know what happened, as if you don't know why I'm addressing you and why I'm talking to you about the situation. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So obviously, they obviously had that conversation. She then obviously went and made up with well, she actually she went and made up with the girls and stuff.
Yeah.
They had their conversation. But then she went to apologize. Well, she went to speak to Mehdi to get him apologize. What do you think about that then? That situation?
Um, I think that was the right thing to do, to be honest. She did do
Mm,
the right thing. The fact that she acknowledged that, oh, okay, like this was more my fault, let me go and patch that up between them. That was a good thing to do. And I think that Mehdi as well, I think that made him mellow down because he was like, okay, even the girl that was upset, she come and said her P's and Q's and says, like, it was not like that. It definitely helped the situation, but I think Mehdi was a bit quick as well to be saying, oh, I don't know how I feel about her now. Like, you barely feel anything. So, like, I don't know what he's talking about. But yeah, Jess was right for that.
and you know what's interesting? Because obviously, then they had Whitney and Mehdi had a conversation, and they spoke, and obviously he then apologized, but the apology was trash because he didn't finish. She was trying to get him to understand, like, complete the apology. And he was like, well, can you at least acknowledge the first part of the apology?
Yeah,
How about you finish the apology first? So we can actually get an acknowledgement here. You know what I mean?
yeah,
What's
yeah,
your thoughts on the
100%.
apology?
The apology was ass. It was ass. He basically said, oh, my bad, innit? That's all he said. That was his
Mm,
apology. Oh, I'm sorry I got the wrong end of the stick, but he was basically like, if you do that again, it's still gonna be your fault. That's basically what he said at the end of the conversation. Like,
mm,
this will be an outing for me to leave you. That's basically what he said.
mm,
Because he was said, oh, what's the exact wording he used? I'm not too sure, but he was saying along the lines of like, if you make another girl cry, that will be it. As if
mm,
like she's some sort of drama girl, which I don't understand because surely Jess is more drama. Was it not Jess that was shouting across the villa? Was it not Jess that also was like, oh, I don't want to pick Molly because it will seem a bit, like it will seem a bit like Mean Girl. So who's worse out of the two? Because Whitney is always doing happy go lucky, so I don't get it. She said one, two things, and now all of a sudden, Whitney's a problem girl. When?
Mm.
Bit odd.
No, you're right about that. You know, they're right about that. It's interesting because I think that apology that he had is the apology was actually thrown in the bin after, because once he left that conversation, when he was leaving, he was like, I guess I'll come to you directly when you make another girl cry. So you actually believe that I made her cry. That means
Yeah,
everything you just said is actually trash. Because once you say to me as you're leaving, I guess I'll come directly to you when you make another girl cry. Another girl, which means you think I made the first girl cry. Now that level
yeah.
of sassiness, first of all, I talked about his sassy hips already. That I don't think. Do you know what? If he's straight, shoot, then I'm bent because it's mad. But that walk that he has is hella sassy, and the energy he's bringing to the
Sassy.
table now is really sassy. And it's like, you know, we talk about people being sassy, but this is actually real sassiness because this situation had nothing to do with him. None. This is between the girls. When girl, look, if my girl has stuff drama with other girl, how am I involved? It's the girl dramas. You know, if all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be like, okay, babe, let me sit. I know what's happening next. I have to sit down and listen to your ranting. You know what I mean? And then I got to put my arm around you and cuddle you and say, babe, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry, I got your back. That's it. That's it. That's the cheat code. That's the finisher. That's the end of, bro. All you gotta do is nod your head a few times, say, babe, I'm listening to you. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah. I can't believe that. Do you know what I mean? And by the end of it,
Mhm.
by the end of it, you just say, babe, let me give you a hug. You know, I love you. You know, I care for you. You know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. You hug it out, and then she feels heard, and she feels heard, seen, and everything. But instead,
Mhm.
no. You came with your preconceived ideas, and then literally, and that's the thing. He's a barb. He is a barb because he was singing it on his TikTok. But man was singing the lyrics back to back like he was Nicki Minaj's Barbie. Let me show you the hand signals man was doing because it was all this. Now, I'm an actor, so don't worry about it. I'm not gay, but you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of this he was doing. And he said, he did this. I said, so what do you think is going to happen?
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, you know, it's nonsense, bro. Like, so for me, when you're leaving your girl and then you say to her, like, oh, I guess I'll come to you directly when you make the next person cry, you are being disrespectful at that point, and you're trying to have the last word, and you're trying to take man for dickhead. And that for me is giving me sassy energy, right? Not only that, you told me you wanted a girl that's got a bit of spice. And I knew it. When people say they want
yeah,
spice, he lying. He don't want that kind of spice. He like this, like it's like someone saying they want to get spice at Nando's. I like my food spicy, but then chooses mild or lemon and herb. This is not
yeah,
spice, bro. You know? What's your thoughts?
yeah. That's it. When he said that to begin with, I knew that he was talking about like white people sass. It's not black women sass. Because as soon as black women start being a little bit against the grain, all of a sudden, oh my gosh, we want to shoot people and stuff like that. But when it was Molly giving sass, nobody wants to say anything. When it's Jess giving sass, nobody wants to say anything. As soon as tears start rolling down, black women in Love Island need to start crying more. That's what it needs to be. They need to start crying because these people they see the fact that they don't cry and it's like, oh my gosh, like she must not feel anything. Oh, all this like they're talking about the with the sassiness, yeah. It's not real. The sassiness isn't real. The sassiness is just saying one time, "Oh, be quiet." That's sassy to them. Like you said, Nando's mild. It's not good. It's not quality. It's not doing anything. So when he said that, immediately I thought, we're in danger zone. And when he said he wanted a boss lady, but then when she's been a boss, you're saying that she's doing too much and she's jumping into other people's business. But this is literally Love Island. You're going to be in other people's business. There's nothing else to do. You've got no phone. You've got no business. Like, what else are you supposed to do?
Hmm.
So,
Listen, it's a mazzoline, bro. It's a mazzoline. Can't lie to you. Um, you know, that's what he said. That's what he said. You know, literally, it was tight, man, to see that situation, you know, and you know, I think a lot of times as well, like people don't realize well that certain language is loaded. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Like he might not fully understand, but I honestly believe that certain language is just loaded. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Like, and the way that certain things people respond to certain things It's loaded. Now he might come out and say, "Well, I just don't like my girl being in drama." But here's the problem that I have with that is you weren't in the drama and you weren't being involved in the drama. Your girl was in drama and it was in drama, but the drama wasn't orchestrated by her. It was a very calm conversation, which then turned into a mess because one party decided to start crying. And actually, if you didn't want to be involved, why didn't you go and do your research? This is the part that frustrates me. I don't get it. It's like that, and that tells me that either you got a preconceived idea of black women or you were trying to have an exit plan. And the two can be, I don't have to even choose the two. I can have both of them as a truth. But it's like you had a preconceived idea or you were trying to get out of it. You know, and so in that situation, it's like, my friend, like, who was beefing Molly originally? It was Jess. So if the only beef that was actually happening was that was with Jess and Molly and a little bit of Catherine, and even that was very little. You know what I mean? It was very little. There was more beef with Molly and Mitch. So what things are you talking about? You know, what things are you talking about? You know, so I'm like, what are you talking about? Or are you pissed off because she kissed maybe you kissed maybe because she kissed Zach, you're a little bit pissed off. You don't want to admit it that you want to be pissed off. Is that the reason why, Mehdi? Yeah, maybe that's the reason why, Meds. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Was that after the situation even? I don't think that's after the situation. So no, you can't even be vexed about that because that happened after. So it's not even that. It's not even that. The kiss happened after. So you know, like it's mad to me. So it's mad to me. So yes, I'm gonna go with the preconceived idea because there's no way you can see that situation and automatically brand that person as the issue. You don't know me long enough. And you don't know me long enough, so you're using preconceived ideas. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, and for me personally, you gotta be very careful, man. We've dealt with this kind of stuff as black people for a long time, and like I said, I said on another place, because people were saying they should have left Jess alone. I don't think you should leave Jess alone. I don't think we should just allow white people to get away with it and just let them do whatever they want to do. Do you know what I mean? If you're being two-faced, we should call you out. You know, if you're being two-faced, we should call you out. You know what I mean? You know, so it's if you're being two-faced and you're saying you're my friend, like I need you to come correct. You know what I'm saying? And then you act as if you don't know what the hell we're talking about. You know exactly what we're talking about. When you came and sat down, you wanted to say, "Oh, I would have chosen Molly, but I didn't want to be like, you know, piling it on like I'm a bully." So you were gonna choose Molly then. So let's stop that nonsense, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Sorry, anyway, go on.
Nah, I have nothing to say to be honest. I was agreeing with you. Same thing. It's just like the same. We shouldn't pile it on Jess. We shouldn't pile it on Jess. But what was Jess doing? Jess was doing the most, stirring the pot the most. Even when she did the little the whispers over to Mitch saying, "Oh, I should have picked Molly," and then Mitch was like, "Yeah, you should have picked Molly." That was even ugly as well because you literally wanted to be with Molly yesterday. So I don't know why you're even piping up. But she was saying all of that, but then she's saying, "Oh, I didn't want to be horrible about Molly. I've never said a bad word." But that's not true. Like I said,
Liar.
when she was shouting over the villa, was that not her bad mouthing her? Maybe she didn't call her out of her name and all this and that, but she was definitely speaking ill on her name, saying, "Oh, I don't like Molly because she does this," and she basically said, "I think Molly's like a bit of an attention seeker," and then now she's backtracking, saying, "Nah, I've never said that. I like Molly." What? It's not adding up, bro.
So political situation, man. Political situation, honestly, on that one. Can't even lie to you. You know, so uh situation. Just to address so and said, let Molly fight her own battles. I don't think they weren't fighting for money. They really weren't fighting for money. That's the honest truth. They weren't fighting for money. This is not about fighting for money. They were fighting for the fact that you say you're my friend. If you're cool with us and you sat with us and you've chat absolute poop about Molly, you don't then get the opportunity to call her out. Then you don't call her out and then be like, I'm actually caught. Like, don't pretend. because you've been doing the most. And
Yeah.
then we know she's fake, because if you come out and say, I haven't said a bad word about her, that's you lying. So it's not about Molly. Okay, it was not about Molly at all. It was not about that. It's about the principle, and it's about who you really are. You're a snake, and I said this a few weeks ago, that Jess is a snake. Okay, and that's a true nature of her when it came to the girls. Because the reason why she's a snake is because the only reason why she banded with Catherine and Whitney is because they had a common enemy, which was Molly. And Molly was getting all the attention from all the boys. Now Molly isn't getting all the attention from the boys. All she's getting is from Zach. She don't have to hate her no more. You know?
Okay.
Don't have to hate her no more. So I'm just saying, I think that's political as well. So for me, you gotta be consistent. You know, you gotta be consistent. So at the end of the day, I don't do snaky people. That's why we call them out. Um, and this is a person as well. And this is the person as well that was like, should I go and fight for you? Do you want me to go and say something? That was for Catherine. And then you did the same thing for Mitch. She's mugging you off. Do you want me to go and say something for her? Say something to her. Okay. Well, since you didn't say anything bad in it, so anyway, who else? What about Ella and Tyreek? You saw them as well, and what was your thoughts of that situation there?
I don't know if this man likes her. I don't know if he does, because the way that he's acting, you could argue maybe he does because he's gone back to her, but it seemed a bit like in the challenge, Leo kissed, who was it? Zach? Or did she kiss? No, she kissed
No,
Sammy.
it's Sammy. Yeah.
Yeah, she kissed Sammy, yeah. And it seemed like almost like, okay, maybe I'm not gonna be successful with this girl, or she's not gonna chase me, so let me leave it alone. You know? Maybe it could have been that, maybe, his genuine feelings are coming through and he's saying, yeah, let me pick Ella. But even Ella, I'm thinking, is this who you want to be with? Because for me, personally, once the man has said to me, I don't remember you, it's done. What do you mean you've seen me outside and you don't remember me? And I feel like that started a domino effect. Do you know what I mean? So it's always like she's gonna be in a position where she has to almost prove to him, I'm worth being sought after, I'm worthy of being seen. I don't think that he truly likes her. But I could be wrong on it. Could be majorly wrong. Because we all thought this with the other season with Toby and Chloe. So you don't know.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I think I agree with you. I think Ella, for me, Ella needs she needs to grow in self love, and it's not because she's going back to Tyreek. I'm saying that it's the whinging. It's the whinging. My God, the whinging, the crying, the windmilling, like no composure whatsoever at all. Okay, no composure in the slightest. Hey, if you take penalty, you kick over the bar. Like there's no composure at all in Ella's play. Like, I mean, she's the type to dribble past 4 or 5 defenders, get 1-on-1 with the goalie, and then just slap it to the wide of the post. Like, it's like, baby, you just have to score an open goal. She won't do it. She'll slap it wide. And there's just no composure in the slightest from her. And it's just like, you know, she's been hunting him, and then she said stuff which is just like wild. Like she said yesterday on a vote. She said yesterday as well on the episode, like, oh, I don't want to leave prematurely because there's no one really here for you. Are you doing him a favor by staying? You are out of your mind, Ella. Like you are actually out of your mind. Like you are delusional. So when people try to defend Ella, like we've all been there, I'm like, no, we have not. There's delusion, and this one where she's actually trying to literally show her actual value to this man by begging it. Like, yo, there's difference. She actually said, oh, what would you do? Like, what would you do basically? Like, there's no one here for you that you actually like. Is that why you think you're gonna stay? Hey, darling, I think you need to get your affairs in order. Go for it.
Yeah. It's a bit confusing because she said that. She said, "Oh, there's no one there for you," but then in the same breath, she's crying, she's throwing up. Not literally, but she's crying like, "Oh, why, like, he's over there, he's chatting to her, he's pulling her, da 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 da. If you're secure with the fact that you know that, I'm the only one for him, then why are you crying and throwing up every single time you see him pull Leah?
Mm.
Where's this cognitive dissonance coming from? I don't get it. You said you were confident in the fact that, oh yeah, he likes me. Then you're crying again. Like, which one is it? Pick, Ella. And then she'll be like, oh, she literally woke up today on this episode, said, oh, I think I'm officially done. Ella. And then she was laughing, cheeky, 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 hee, 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 hee. As soon as he said, oh, I think I want you again. No pushback, nothing. She said, you know what? I'm running for you. It's okay. Ella, which one is it? Pick. Pick.
Yeah, man. I think I think to myself, just watching how she is straggling behind Tyreek is just so sad to see. Like, I have some shame and some class. You got to have some shame. You got to have some class. I'm not saying that you can't. I'm not saying that we haven't had those moments. We've all had moments. We've begged it. We want to go back to the person. Y'all know my story already. The audience knows me. I've told you my story. I've begged it. I've done some stupidity. So, but that doesn't mean you can't tell me that it was stupid. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's stupid. Now, of course, would you listen? No, probably not, because you're stubborn. But the reality of the situation is, we're still going to tell you, right? And that's why I find Ella is. Ella is somewhere at a moment where she needs to learn her worth and how much she's worth. Once she gets that in her head, an idea, she'll realize that some of the things she's doing are not necessary. And they're constantly throwing her face, watching them what they're doing, huffing and the puffing. I mean, she is, there's a whole bunch of things with Ella that's happening, and it's gonna look like all that kind of made it work with him. But the thing is, the boy had no more options. He had worked all his hands. Okay, all right, yeah, because he doesn't like Leah enough, and he doesn't like the other girl enough, right? Charlotte, right? He doesn't like her enough. Not enough to try and open up conversation, because it would mean he had to go a little bit further, and he doesn't want to. But reality is, let me tell you something. If he finds someone, if Casamore comes along and there's a worldie in there, and she's his type, because he's got a type. I think he's actually got a type. I don't think he likes to admit it. I think he's got a type.
Yeah.
And that type comes in. I think he likes that kind of, that Georgia Smith color look woman, that, what I mean, like a bit like how Ella is. He gets that kind of girl in the Casa Amor. Oh, she done. That boy will build
He's
a connection. Gone. You know what I mean? Go for it.
I think the same thing. I think the minute Casa Amor comes, he's gone. Leah wasn't enough for him, because Leah's not his main type that goes for. I agree that his type is Ella, and that he goes on that wave of, like, I feel like he goes for like a mixed race girl. It's not Leah. So Leah wasn't enough of a temptation. Charlotte, it was never going to be her. Let's be honest. Not even in a peak way. That doesn't seem like his type either.
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't even a real test either. That these tests aren't real. And if Ella is crying about this, I don't understand why she's not putting two and two together. Look how you look and look how Leah looks. I don't think it's not making sense that he says, oh, you're my top type or whatever, you're my favorite. That was even an insane comment. But him saying that you're his favorite, do you really think like the two can coexist? I don't think they can. They look too different from each other. It's like Molly and Catherine. They don't look similar. They don't even like hold themselves in a similar way. So it's not looking good. Because if another Ella comes in,
Finished.
finished.
Yeah. Yeah, and someone put it there as well. Leah got played. That's one thing I have to say about Ella, right? Ella played Leah. Played her differently.
Mm.
And I'll tell you why. Because Ella put it into her head that, oh, he's playing us. He doesn't, Ella's a manipulative person. I've been telling you guys, look, that people think that. See, you look at Mitch, and it's easy to point out Mitch. Oh my God, Mitch just doesn't get it. He's doing the most. He's talking about that. It's easy to spot people that are overt. But Ella is manipulative, because what she did is she made sure to mark her territory. And a lot of people don't like seeing it because a lot of people like her. But the reality is, Ella literally went to Leah, spoke to Leah, told her off, reprimanded her for not coming to her to talk to her about wanting to choose who is not your man, right? About the situation. It's been what? It was like 7 or 8 days, right? But y'all want to talk about Mitch and how crazy he is for going to talk to Leah because Molly had coupled up and kissed Zach. Ella is the same person as Mitch, just without the fact that she's not a man, because it's different, because obviously the physical element, right? But if she was a man, we'd be saying the exact same thing. I'm scared of Ella. The thing of the situation is, yeah, Ella literally went to Leah, reprimanded her for not talking to her. Now, Leah, although she likes to step on toes, I can see that also she's not a very strong person. So, that little bit of fear that Ella put into her made her let her know, you know what I mean? And then also as well, whilst obviously Leah's talking to Tyreek and all that stuff, right? What is literally what is literally the beef here when you know that he's coupled up with Leah, but you want to go to Leah and be like, he's playing us both. Is he? Because you were complaining the fact that he was pulling her off her door to chat and not had nothing for you. So is he really playing you, or is he playing you, Ella? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But she wanted to make it he's playing us, and you put that in her head. And unfortunately, Leah not being smart, she too took that information, ran with it, went to Tyreek and was like, "Well, listen, basically an ultimatum, because either you're really doing this or you're running that." And then it forced him to go into a certain narrow. He could have played a bit more. Leah could have played it off and still continued. She did not have to narrow her options. In fact, Ella made Leah kill off Tyreek. So now
Yeah.
in the game section where they're doing a football thing, she's giving a red card to Tyreek. She's dumb. You've only been here for a few days. How can I choose you? Are you nuts? You've been here for 2 days, Leah. Think about it. You want me to choose? Think about what you're saying, Leah. You've been here for 2 days. That's what Ella did to you. Ella, like the snake in the garden, started speaking to you in there. Okay? All right? Now, here's the thing. Leah knew that he was here for jokes and bants. You know how she knew? Because in the very beginning, the very first conversation they ever had, he said, "You're my test, And she said, "Oh, test."
Yeah.
She's like, "Okay, when does the test begin?" He said, "Well, tomorrow." And he told you the test was to test to see what between him and Ella. He told you the truth, and you were happy for it. Why? Because you were open and free. You could have still chilled with Sammy and still kissed Sammy and still explored. You had your options open, but Ella forced you now to come and close your options. You allowed her to manipulate you, and you got fooled. So now you've closed your option with Tyreek, and guess what happens? You forced him into a corner. He has to go back to Ella. Well, now you've lost one person too. And you've been foolish about it by saying you get a red card, so he ain't coming back there. Right? Could have enjoyed it, could have had fun, could have maneuvered it. And if you thought he wasn't serious, you could have gone on to Sammy at the same time. Now you got no other choice but to beeline for Sammy, and now you got to piss off Jess too. So you got to piss off Ella and you got to piss off Jess. Nah, Ella's done her dirty, blood. Go for it.
No, I agree. I agree that Ella was being manipulative in that circumstance. She definitely set Leah up and basically like she detonated a bomb inside of her and said, "You know what? Go blow up. Go blow up because I blew up. I need you to blow up." But the thing is that they're not on the same grounds. Like Ty doesn't owe anything to both of them, really, to be honest, but he especially doesn't owe anything to Leah. So the fact that he wasn't being very clear and he said, "Nah, you know what, I think I need more time," like that's what he wanted. And if you didn't want to be with that, then you can bounce, which she did. She has. But at the same time, Ellie was there like, "Oh, I think you should say what's up. You should say, oh, do you want this? Do you want that?" And then she said, "Oh, I'm not gonna get this answer when I want it. So let me go source a way I can find an answer." And she found Leah. And Leah fell for it. She fell for it nicely. And like you said, now she has to go and piss off Jess as well and be like, "I need to take your man now because Ty is no longer available." And will that even last? We don't know because Leah seems like Ty was her main type.
Yeah.
So, and also Ty was very, very cheeky for saying I'm sorry if I led you on. What do you mean? You told her to stand up and twirl like a kebab, and you're saying, oh, I'm sorry if I led you on. I'm sorry. Even though he said, yeah, you look good. And then, do you like back shots? And you're saying, I'm sorry, sorry if I led you on. What are you talking about? You absolutely did. Talk about you can't force a horse to water. You forced her. She went and she drank the water nicely, and now look where she is. Terrible.
Not a kebab.
Like a kebab. Turkish
Just
kebab.
Turkish kebab on the stick, boy. Spinning around, blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely hear you on that. And you know what I'm saying? I definitely listen, Ella is a bit, I don't want to say psycho, but I know, you know what I mean? I know what you mean. Like she is giving that you know what I mean? Like you ever go with someone else, you're gonna get it. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a mad one there. But yeah, no, I think I said she'll have to deal with that herself. But then obviously, you know, talking obviously about Jess and Sammy real quick. Jess and Sammy real quick. There's not much to say apart from the fact that I think Sammy does not like Jess. I think he thinks she's cool, but he hasn't got any other options until Leah came in and actually started giving him options. I think he wants Leah.
100%.
You know? Yeah.
100%.
So yeah. I think definitely that's what it is. To get me.
Look
Definitely
at the way
think that.
he even he acted when she went on the date. Look at the
Oh
way
yeah.
he started speaking reckless because he was like, you know what, you're gonna have someone to run to, so let me just say what I want to say because I'm not even feeling you that way anyways. And look at the
Yeah.
way in the other episode, I can't remember which episode it was. I think it was the last episode or the episode before. He said to the boys, "Oh yeah, like she's laying, but she's not like my type." And he keeps on bringing up, "That's not my type." So I don't see this working ever. He keeps on mentioning that. So if she's not your type, let's dead it. It's a dead. The what do they call it? The horse is dead in the water or something of that saying. It's gone, it's finished, it's dead. I'll be honest. He doesn't feel her. And look at the way he was even rubbing up on Leah as soon as
Hmm.
Jess was out of the villa. He wanted to lips her. I know he did. The way that he was even looking at her, I could tell he wanted to kiss her. But you know, he can't do them things just yet. Not before telling Jess anyways. But he don't
Yeah.
like her.
No. You know, yeah, I definitely hear that as well. Be peaky like that. Do you know what I mean? I think also as well, Catherine and Andre real quick because I think we're gonna come to them almost. But Catherine and Andre as well, they are not being shown much. I don't know
Mm.
if that's just because they're boring or what, but there's not much being shown from their end in terms of their relationship, which is a shame. But we know that happens every Love Island because they try to get the certain demographic to win. But yeah, there's not much happening there. So you know, I don't know what else to say on that particular part. I'll leave them alone. What about Mitch? Any thoughts on Mitch?
For this episode, in the game, in the challenge, didn't he say that? Oh, he doesn't like this game, something
Yeah,
like
he
that.
did. He was getting avoided.
What do you expect when you act like that? Like, what do you actually expect? But I think Mitch, he was kind of calm this episode. He didn't really do too much. There was nothing he could do. So
Mm.
yeah, he's not getting a really good edit, to be honest. He's getting a very much Luca edit. It's not good.
Yeah. And you know what's mad though for me about the situation,
Mm.
you know, for Mitch, yeah, is that people keep going on like he's crazy, it's mad, it's stupid, whatever. But Molly's not innocent. Um, you know, she's not innocent. Why is it the day before she ran outside to say I'm gonna sleep outside because you know I gotta be outside, but today you're in the bed. Why? What has changed between yesterday and today? Huh?
Zach
What
didn't
has
join her.
changed? That's it, right? That's it. So you're acting as if you were trying to so, and then people are going to make it as if Mitch is the only one that's moving mad, but Molly knows exactly what she's doing, right? She knows exactly what she
Mm.
do. They're doing us all. We're still friends situation. It's stupid. It's mad. When she came to tell him about the kiss situation with Zach, that was just crazy and ludicrous. I don't know why she came and told him about the kiss situation. It was just stupid stuff like that. I'm looking at them and going, I feel like you guys are being planted by the production, and you know what? Maybe you guys will get back together a little bit later on. I don't know, but it just seems a bit weird for me. So, yeah, their relationship is a bit odd for me as well.
To be fair, with the kiss, it seemed like she didn't want to do it Ekin. That's why she came and ran. But I think that
That's
the
what it
fact
was.
that you
Yeah.
haven't even like readjusted your face before you've come to even speak to him, to the fact that you can say, I can see that you have been kissing. Oh, decorum, class. Where is it? That was bad. That was bad. But to be fair, I'll give it to her that it seemed like that. But Mitch is also very, very delulu. As much as Molly's insane as well, a little bit. She was, she was doing her thing. Mitch, wow, he gets an inch, he takes a million miles. Wow. Because how can he say, oh yeah, like, we can get to know each other again on the low. How many times can we get to know each other? I don't like you. But I think Molly's the same, different font. I think she's the exact same as Mitch. Look at the way she ran over when Charlotte and Zach were doing their little workout. She said, yeah, I'm gonna go to the toilet. And she stood there like a bodyguard, like security on the door, like a bouncer. What? And then said, let's have a plank off. A plank off? Dodgy, 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 dodgy. Just like Mitch, different font. She just hasn't brought it out yet. We're waiting for Molly, the true Molly, to come.
It's a madness on the end. It's a madness
Mm.
on the ends. So yeah, no, that's done right now and it's finished. So we'll see what happens. I think obviously Mitch, someone said it, Mitch and Jess, yeah, because Jess has liked him from the beginning, so she thought he was handsome, remember? But he was focused on Molly. So yeah, it's all coming round because once Sammy starts going for Leah, then Jess will be free to go for Mitch, which is what she originally wanted in the first place. So we'll see what happens in that regard then. So yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting, to discuss tomorrow's episode as well. So yeah, we're gonna leave it there for today. But thank you, yeah, for joining us as well.
No
It's good to
problem.
have you on here. Audience members, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
We're going to bounce, but we're going to talk a little bit later on if you're around. We're talking about the Suki situation. I know a lot of you want to have your own say, so we're going to discuss it all later on tonight as well. So if you're new to the channel, do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button. Hey, listen, don't forget to get merch. Listen, I told you the new merch coming out all that acres. Get me? Can't lie to you, brother. Yeah, the merch is coming different. Let me get close up to you. Boom. You get me? Mineral gang, you get me? Don't play with me, baby. Don't play with it, baby. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Okay. All right. We're out here with the. You said you wanted some bucket hats, guys. This bucket hat is bucketing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Buckets forever. You get me? So make sure you grab your merch as well, guys. We appreciate you. Listen, much love and appreciation. We'll see you again tomorrow night. And yeah, soon come, soon serve. Much love.